Hi everyone, thank you for being here today. My name is Utman Shofdin and I am here to present to you a presentation about JSON, which is one of the most widely used format for exchanging data and how it works seamlessly with anything and open source automation tool. Okay, we will start by looking at what JSON is and why it is important. Then explore how it fits into LinkedIn workflow. Along the way, I will show you practical examples of receiving, processing, and manipulating JSON data inside anything. By the end of this presentation, you will see how easy it is to automate tasks and connect different services using JSON. Okay, that's it. Let's jump right into the code. So, first, what is JSON? JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. It is a lightweight application, or it's a lightweight application or a data exchange format, easy for human to read and write, and easy for machines to pass. Okay, easy for machine to pass and generate, meaning easy for machine to read and write and also to generate. JSON is widely used for APIs and web services to transfer data between systems. Okay, it's a method or a format transferring data between web services or system. Okay, why JSON? Why do we use JSON? The most very popular and the most common one is because JSON is easy to read. Okay, unlike your binary code that you have it in 0101 or some jargons like technical terms, JSON is human language. Okay, it is English you type and something you can read and write. Okay, it also supports language independence, so meaning can be used by any programming language, including JavaScript, Python, PHP, and Java, etc. Okay. The one of another reason is because it has a lightweight, okay, usually very small in kilobyte, so it does not really consume your data or your space. So, well, this is one of the reasons. Unlike XML that consumes data and most times they are heavy, JSON is very lightweight and it has a minimal format compared to XML. What are the use cases of JSON? When or where do we use JSON? Okay, JSON is widely used in APIs, application programming interface, that is sending information from one web browser to another web browser. Okay, so APIs use or the format of sending information are in JSON. Also, the one of the most popular use case is configuration files. So when you have applications or extensions installed on your PC and you want to customize it or set it up, configure it to your own pace or to some specific feature, most of the times these settings are in JSON. They are in JSON formats. Why? Because they are easy to read by humans, likewise by the machines. So it's just a win-win for the two parties. Another use case is your data storage. So when you store something or you store information in your database, they are being stored in a JSON-like format. Okay, think of your database like Postgres, MySQL, or local storage on your browsers. These are stored using JSON format. Okay, so these are some a brief intro or explanation about JSON. Now, let's see, how do we write this JSON? So the first thing we need to do is we need to create a file with an extension JSON. So it has to have an extension uh, called .json. So I'm going to create a file here. So I can just create my file on I'm using a VS Code. So I'm just going to call this file.json. So once you create a file with an extension .json, this will signify to your engine to process this file or to configure your settings to work with JSON. Okay, so now how do we structure? The first thing you add in a JSON, if it is a JSON holding a single data, you just add it straight away like this. So basically, JSON is a coily bracket, a bracket with a rounded edges. Okay, sometimes it's called braces, coil braces. Okay, so this is it like that. So if you want to have multiple data, then you need to store them in an array. Okay, so an array is a square bracket like this. So you will have the JSON bracket in it, comma, and then you can have another JSON bracket like that. So by convention, we have each JSON bracket in different lines. So like this is going to be the first one, and then you go to the next line for the other one, and like that. But I'm not going to show you a complex JSON structure, or we are not going to build a complex JSON structure. I will start with a simple one. So single JSON structure. So like this. So this is it here. And in programming, we try as much as possible to create uh, like creating a space, making it readable, not jam packing things together. So you've seen me putting on a new line. So that is just the reason why I'm doing that. In case you are wondering, why should I be putting it on a separate line? Why not just write everything in a straight line? So in this one, we have something called the key value, key and then a value. Just like a dictionary where you have a word and a meaning, that is the same structure or the same format JSON uses. So you have a key and then you have a value. Now, how do we structure a key? So I'm going to write a JSON data comprising a human bio, but not a complex one, just a simple one, just some few information. So what is this human? A name. A name for this human. So you do it like this. So this is called a key, and then the value here will be the name. So let's say popular one here we have John Doe. Okay, like this. So this is a convention for JSON. Whenever you are creating a key, a key property, it must have this quotation mark. Okay, a double quotation mark. Compulsory, it must have a double quotation mark like that. And then this is the value. So this here denotes the key or differentiates the key and then the value. So I have this John Doe here as the value. Okay, so this imaginary human we are creating, we want to also make sure we state the age. So this is the key for the age, and then in this case, because uh, age should be a number, then I use a number without putting it in a quotation mark. So when you put text in, or mostly we put text in quotation mark, okay, while a number uh, don't have quotation marks. That's that. Then the next we have other properties for this imaginary human. Let's say, is this human? Uh, let's check for the gender first. Gender, and then we can say, yeah, the gender is a male. Okay, and then we can move on to check for, let's say, is he married? So married, and then we can put pause here. So he is not yet married. So you can see this is a text. Like I said, this is a text, but this do not have a quotation mark. Why? Because this is a one of the data type in JS in JavaScript called boolean. We also have this in most of the programming. Okay, a boolean is just a data type that stores things in true or false. So kind of like yes or no. So true or false. In this case, we don't need quotation for them. So let's see friends for this imaginary guy, friends. So we have it in this way. So because we want to list the names of his friends, we can't just put all of them in a single sentence. You get? So we will put this in another data type called array. I showed you this earlier. So this is used for storing multiple information. So let's say we want to show a friend for uh, John. He has Alice as a friend. Okay. And then let's say he has Samuel as a friend like this. So these are friends uh, that this imaginary guy, John Doe, has. So he has Sarah, Alice, and Simon. These are separate beings. Okay, for that reason, because these are separate information, I needed to store them in an array so that each one can stand on their own, like that. So we can go on and put more information like this address. Okay, address for JSON. For this imaginary guy. So like this now we can't use array anymore because when I say my address, you need to get what is your street, what is your house number, what city, what state. So these are keys. These are keys that requires a value. So in that case, we can also use a JSON bytecode, which is called dictionary or object. So now I can have what is your state, like the state, and then we can have it like this, Abuja. Then can go on what is your city, then we can add it like this. Okay, let's say okay, so we can have it like this. So the next thing is we can have your maybe your postal address. So for something like a postal. So we have this because the postal is just a number. So we can have it in this format like that. You get me? So this is a JSON. This is just the structure here. So this is the structure of a JSON. So you have the information like that nested into one keep nested items like that. Okay. Now we have all the data type. So most of the data types listed out here in JSON. And this could be a single user, and we can duplicate this in case you want to have a multiple user just by creating an array, and we'll copy each of these information like this and have this inside, and then we just duplicate them. So you can add this like this. I'm just going to have two information here, and then let's say this is let's say to manual manager, and this is just at the age of 25, and he is married. So I'm just kind of changing the information. Okay, so this is information one, and then we have data two, like data one and data two. All are stored in this array here. So we store this in an array for the purpose of looping through it. I will guiding or printing or working with each information in this array. That's that. Now, let me go back to the single format of this item here. Okay, so I'm going sent over to a single format. Now let's say we want to access this in our anything, or we want to make use of this information stored or given to us or sent to us or sent to a database, and they want to kind of like show that in your application. So how do we do that? How do we make use of each information? Because currently now all of these are given to us like in a bulk. Okay, and we want to extract things we want to make use of. So JSON kind of similar to a dictionary or an object. So you can access them by just using uh, a dot notation or a bracket notation. So for example, I'm going to create a file here. So let's say I have another file here. And this is just going to be a script file .js. So let's say we are given this file here, or we receive this file from the database, and then I have it saved somewhere. Let me duplicate this. Okay, so let's say I requested for an information about my first user, and this data was given to me. This. So I am working on my JavaScript. There is a way we do import that to our JavaScript, or we do fetch the information. But I will just kind of make it here for you. So let's say I have it as first user like this. It's equals to that. Just going to put that name here. Dot uh, file dot JSON like that. For example, okay. Assuming this information is given to this guy here. Okay, so now I want to print out just the name. Like I want you to see just the name. So I can say first user dot the name like this. So when I write this, this will output, or when I console.log this, like when I print this, you will see a result like this. That's this will be given to you like that. So you get joined it. So it's either you are doing it in this format or you are doing it in this format in a bracket notation. So this is a bracket notation. Either of this is going to work fine. So you either use uh, the dot notation or you are using a bracket notation. Yes, why are we using or why do we have two methods of doing this? The reason is because sometimes your key in a very rare case, in a very rare case actually, might be a number, might be a number, maybe a number perceived or something. So in this case, you can use this bracket notation to capture points. Okay, but in most cases, we have it in all string, all text, all character. Okay, all text out. So you can have it like this. So you'll be looking at what if we want to print the friends? Then the same way, we just call first user dot friends. Okay, yeah. So dot friends here will give us the all of this information here. Everything we have in this as a single entity, okay, like a bag. So it will be given to us like this. And now we want to kind of maybe access the female or the male friend of this John, and that person is Samuel, which is the last on the list. So how do we just output just the male friend of this first user? So to output this, when you store information in an array, so in a bracket, in a square bracket like this, they are they have index position here. Index position. The first item is having index position of 0. That's 0. The second item is having index position of 1. And then the third item is having index position of 2. The fourth, 3, and it keeps going on and on and on like that. I hope this is clear. Okay, so now we want to get Samuel here. And the way to go about this is just to put a square bracket. So when you want to have, you want to get access to item in, in an array already, you would also use an array to get that item. But in this case, you use the index position. So would you guess what will the index position, or say what is the index position for Samuel now? Okay, so if you mention one, uh, you are wrong. So the index position for some is actually two. So we have 0, 1, 2. You also mentioned three. You are close to it, but not the right answer. So the correct answer here is 2, because the first item on this list is 0, the second here is 1, and then the next is 2. So we can have 2 here, and that will give us summary. Okay, that is when you are working with a list or an array. Okay, basically it's called an array, or popularly called an array. So when you are working with an array, we use a square bracket and then use index position to access the item. So I'm going to put this saying getting information or data in an array. Okay, that is how to do that. Okay, while let's see, how do you work with getting information in an object? Okay, so let me just save time here. Okay, so getting information or data in an object like that. So we can get information in an object still using the variable here that is assuming or holding the all of this information. So we start by saying first user. So first user, and then the only object we have here is this. Then the key to access this is called the address. So if we go here and say first user dot address, so this is going to output the all of that information. So everything here in this structure is what we would get like that. So you have it in this format. So what if I want to get, or what is the state this first user comes from? Because when you just use dot address like this, it gives you the entire information, both the necessary and the non-necessary information will be given to you, because that is all parts of, or all of that are stored inside the address object. So just to get the state here. So this is not similar to an array that you use the index position. You can see clearly, or if you notice, so if you notice, you will see this part here is a curly bracket. A bracket is not similar to that of the array, which is square. This is kind of curly. So this is similar to the index, I mean the JSON objects already. So to do this, to means we will need to put this dot again to access the information. So I can put dot state. Let me do this one separately. So dot state will now give me just the state table. Okay, so dot state like this will give me just state. And if I want to get the poster, then I just need to change this to poster. and it will give me this value here, and that is how you get, or this is how you can get information from an object. Okay, so this is a very few way of working. This is just the basic preliminary of working with JSON. Basically, we are focusing on just one single item. Okay? One single item. Actually, if we want to have a multiple list of users, then it should be in a square bracket. So this is going to be it for the basics of JSON. The next is we will look into how do we show how do we work with JSON in our anything, okay, anything automated automation tool. Okay. So now let's move on to the browser to do that. Okay, so this is my anything platform, and I have created my account. I believe by now you should be able to create your own account, and you should be able to create or connect some nodes together. So this is uh, I did a pre I made a pre connection here so as not to make this video lengthy. So this is an HTTP request mode, and that is gotten from this part here. So you just type HTTP, and then you will be able to connect it. Okay, so this gives us a method to connect. So HTTP means Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Okay, it's a protocol where you can transfer text, okay, from one service to another, a web service to another, from API to your database. So it is like that. Okay, so we have different ways of getting, deleting, updating. Okay, they have patch, post, that's sending, getting, receiving, put, patch, all of these are to edit, and then we have the delete also to delete. So I am making it get request because I want to get information. So what I did here, let me close this one. Yes, let me use this one. I have already to explain. So what I did here is I'm making a get request here to this API. And what is API? Application Programming Interface. Okay, to a weather API.com. Okay, this service or this website provides us information about the weather. So I'm making an API call to it, to a specific uh, state, so I can put my state. So let's say I want to make a request to Abuja, like that. Okay, and the authentication is already fixed by the URL, so all my authentication are there already. So I'll just execute this code here. Okay. So when I execute the code, you can see the results here in a JSON format. Okay, this is our major concern here, in a JSON format. So you can see we have this because this is going to be a multiple informations. Okay, you can see the first JSON, and then we move on to another. Okay, no, this is the JSON itself. Okay, and then we have a key, the first key here is called location, and then you have a JSON explaining or giving you the full details of that location. Then we have another key here, current, and then we have information about that, like that, till the end of that key, and then this closes the JSON, while this is stored in an array by anything. In case the question, I mean, your resources you requested are going to be more than one. So this is a JSON format, and you can see both the key and the textual character, which is the value, are all stringified. They are all string. except for the numbers. Okay, so this is the JSON here. I have made this to call that. Then I connected to this to a code in JavaScript, and this is just you can just type in code here. And this allows you to you can select this. Okay, this allows you to write a code in basically in JavaScript, but now there are anything is improving to work to also be able to write in Python language. So when I open this up, since these are connected here, this information is connected to this node to this node. So the request this is fetching is given to this the next the connected node in front of it. So when I open this up, you can see the informations are still here. So we can use your code here to write some conditions, okay, on what you want to occur. So note here you can set run once for all items. So you can set it based on the mode. How do you want this to keep on? And then the language I am basically using is JavaScript. And you can see the pattern I talk about is on beta mode. Then this is your editor, the code editor where you can write the information. So all these values here are called are stored in this variable called input.all. So input.all, getting all the items, and then I save it to a variable called items. And then we map through this item and then get each item, that is we get each item here, location and current. These are the items. Then we say for the location, if item.json.current. So I'm working on the current one because I want to work or make use of this temperature here. So this temperature in this part, that's what I want to make use of. Okay, so that's the current dot weather status. So I am creating this value here. Okay, creating this value that it should equal to the item dot current dot temperature. If it is greater than 12, so this is just me thinking over it. If the temperature here, that is this value that's coming here, if it is greater than 12, you can say moderate. But if it is less than 12, then you would say the weather is cool. So for us, we can just say if it is greater than 30, if it is greater than 20, we have moderate, but if it is less than 20, then we have to based on our state here. I mean, based on Nigeria. So we can say if it is greater than 20, and we are still in the moderate. So as long as it's not like 30, 35, then we have heat. So I'm just focusing on two things. If it is greater than 20, then we can say moderate. And if it is less than 20, we can say that is cold. Okay, so this will be the value given to this weather status. So I am creating a new key into this object here, into this current here. Okay, so I created a new one. Okay, now if that is done, then you want to return that item. Else we want to return the overall item. Now, if I should execute this code here, it will read this information and then execute that for me, and you can see say node executed successfully. And if I check into this current now, I should see that status here. So you can see weather status, and this is moderate. Why? Because the information we are getting from this API call is above 20. So that is 26 by my weather condition here in Abuja. So we have it like this. So this states that this is moderate. So that is just what I want to check from the whole of this information gotten from this API. So you see, sometimes you are given excess of information to make it up. Then the next thing I want to just use your code to extract them. Okay, the next thing is I want to send this information to my email. So yeah, I want to send this to my email. So I'll open my email here. You can also do that just by googling, I mean, searching it through this box here. Just say email, and then you have the different. method of mail, and you can just choose which one you want to work with the platform for your mailing service. So I want my Google Mail. So double click to open this up. So double click, and then I have it like this. So since this is also connected to or the previous node is connected to this, you still have the previous information. So you can still see this here. So we can just load. So I have signed in my Google account to this. So I have anything now. I have access to my mail, to write mail, to to write mail to myself or to my clients like that. So this is connected already. So you can connect yours by just clicking on that button, and it will tell you to sign if you have not signed it yet. So you just sign in your email address and then your password, and then you give the authorization. What do you want anything to have access to? So after that, the resources I want to do here is I want to send a message. So you can send a label, a thread, like the operation is same. Okay. So you can remove a label, you can mark as a read, mark as read, mark as unread, get many like that. Depends on what you want to focus on. But me, I want to send a message to who. So this is who I want to send message to. So you can also create a node or have a node connected to this point, to this mail here, that will help you to extract all your clients, maybe your Google. You can also check Google Sheets here, Google Sheet. Okay, so you can see a Google Sheet here. Your Google Docs depends on a way of getting your users' information. Okay, so we can connect that here and then start them just by looking through. But what I want to do is just add put this information here. Okay, so subject for this email. So I'll just put in hello, the weather today. Weather today. So let's say weather today like that. So the email type should be a text, and email type should be a text. Now this is the message. Okay, the message field. So where did I get all of this from? The message field, I pick it from this policy. So this is the information basically we need here. So you can just drag and drop here. Very easy. And you can see the result. This is how it's going to appear on the mail. So I'm going to say, just put a text here. Let's say the weather condition today. The weather condition today is so like that. So this will be either moderate or cold or heat, depending on what you are structured in your code. That's the code I showed you there, the previous notepad. So you just state that information like that, and then that is all. Okay, the next thing for me here now is to just execute this node. So I'll execute the node and waiting for it to give me success message. So basically, this is how we request for information. Still loading. This is how we make requests to API, get it as a JSON, edit the JSON or manipulate JSON, process it, and then send it to whatever platform you want to send this to. So it's still waiting to execute. Perhaps maybe my network is a bit slow, or it's taking its time. Okay, and let me see if I can log into that's my mail here. So I did okay, yeah, this is it. Can you see it today? Can you see it today? 9:50. I didn't know if you pay attention to time. You can notice this very this just now. and you can see it is still unreached. So when I click this to open, you can see hello weather today, and the weather condition today is moderate, and this is coming from anything. So basically, that is how you work with anything, and this is how you work with JSON. So this node has already executed its tasks, but I didn't know why it's still loading. So that is just it. I hope you guys enjoyed it and have a wonderful day ahead of you. So that's all for today. Cheers.